Right, I think we're there. I'm very sorry about the delay. I've had to sort out literally every technical problem that there could possibly have been. Oh. First I took up my Ethernet cable, that wasn't working. Then the sound went, and then I couldn't get my web page up. But I think I'm here now. I'm hoping you can hear me. If you can't hear me, or if there's anything wrong, please do shout in the chat if you're even there yet. If there's anyone's there, I don't know if anyone's going to turn up to this thing, but you know, I thought it would be a fun thing to do. Yes, I'm hoping I'm coming through loud and clear. Hello. My name is Ollie. My current ongoing project is working with the man known as Tibbs, and together we do the Pod 'em Up podcast, where every month we take turns to pick a game, and we go away and play it. We come back and talk about it in a podcast form. We put it out. It's called Pod 'em Up. Pod'emUp.live is where you'll find our podcast. It's good. We've just done Nights into Dreams, which is another Sonic Team classic. So I'm sure most people who are tuning in to see the Sonic content, if anyone's tuning in at all, might know that game, so you might like that podcast. But in a previous life, I was known as Liquid Shade, and I created the website that you hopefully see on this stream right now. This is a site called Sonic Zone. Well, it's called Zone Zero. The URL is called SonicZone0.com. A lot of people think it's called Sonic Zone Zero. The title has always been Zone Zero. I just couldn't get ZoneZero.com, so it's called SonicZone0.com. But anyway, let me just get over here. I'm hoping you can see me moving around on the page now. Hoping I'm not travelling too far away from my mic as well. Sorry about that. We'll just hit the mic stand again. Right. So I made this a long time ago now. So I started 20 years ago on this website. I wasn't quite going to launch into this now, but I might as well. I am going to get to Sonic 3 and Knuckles in a minute. That's the game that I've said I'm going to play. But first of all, I'm celebrating 30 years of Sonic 3 and Knuckles this year. It's already been, but we're still in 2024, so I thought I'd find some time to have a playthrough of it. But I'm also celebrating 20 years since I started work on this website of mine. And I haven't touched it in a long time, but I started work on this. Basically, it's a game guide website. It covers Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic CD, Sonic 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. And really, at the time, I was quite inspired by, if anyone remembers, the GHZ or GHZ, the Green Hill Zone. That was a great website for Sonic information. Like, they managed to, I think they were some of the first ones to get, the Japanese instruction manuals and like the backstories of the Japanese side of things, and they just put it all on in these lovely information websites. Really good site. I was very inspired by that, but I thought their content, their level content, was a bit lacking. I've always loved the Sonic levels. Like, I've always found them to be the most interesting part of the games, how they differ from each other, and their features that they've got. They're all individual, they've all got their own personalities, and the GHZ, with all due respect to it, just had a little paragraph on each. So I wanted to expand upon that. I wanted to do something similar, but covering fewer games and focusing in on these ones. And so yeah, that's where it started really, and I started work on it in 2004. Started writing guides for the levels, everything I could think of under the sun, breaking down all these different aspects: appearance, level structure, features and obstacles, and then just going through bit by bit. And I did my first draft of Green Hill Zone and Sonic 1 in one evening, and I finished all the other levels within a week actually. But then I obviously had to go back and tighten them up as I was putting more and more depth into the later games and later levels. So that took about 2 years to write it all, I think. And then after that, it was just putting them in these web pages. And the site eventually launched in 2007. With Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 guides complete. Then gradually I added Sonic CD, Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. And finally finished in 2012. And I must admit, I haven't done a lot with the site since. It's just sort of, I kind of lost a little bit of enthusiasm for it. And I thought, I'm going to stop it with the original quintilogy, I suppose in Sonic CD as well. I thought that was a good place to stop and move on to other stuff. But over the years, I've had emails. People still visit it. I had a lot of. It did quite well in its time. I'm not very good at blowing my own horn on these things, but blowing my own trumpet, whatever the expression is. But I've had the emails over the years still. People saying, that they really liked it. They really like the maps. Every level has probably the most painstaking thing, and this isn't one of the biggest examples, but I've been through all these maps and I got the level layouts from various places, and I've added all these objects and stuff and these arrows. So that took a lot of time, and people seem to like them. People seem to find them useful. So sorry, I'm a bit out of breath. I've been struggling. As I said, I've been struggling with every problem under the sun. So hopefully, I'll relax in a minute. So this was the sort of the legacy of Zone Zero, really, and it's something I'm very proud of. It's we'll stick on Sonic 3 for the moment, but every level is down here, and I think I'm, as I say, I don't like to play my own trumpet, but horn, but I'm pretty pleased with it. I don't go through and read it quite a lot. I think a lot of if I did, I probably want to correct a lot of the writing and find it a little bit cringy here and there. So I hope it still stands the test of time. But yeah, I'm sort of waffling now, really. But I just wanted to intro that because I've sort of tied this stream up with it, because I thought, it's been 20 years, it's been 30 years since Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That's it. There's a ring to that, and I thought, I do get emails about it from time to time, and I was looking on Twitter the other day just out of interest to put the URL in, and similarly like some really nice tweets about it, really nice messages. So I thought maybe some people would be interested to see me play Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and to sort of chop in these maps and these guides as I do it, and talk about it, and talk about the history of the site and things like that, and maybe if anyone turns up to this, I don't know if anyone is, but maybe chat about it, talk to me about this and about anything else, really. So welcome to the stream. This is me. I was formerly known as Liquid Shade. I'm back as Liquid Shade for one night only, and so let's let me just flip. I'm going to go back to Angel Island because that's where we're going to start. So we'll go over there, and I'll pop this back in from time to time and check on it myself as we go. But yeah, let's get on with the game. So bear with me while I try and hopefully this will work. I'll chop and change between them if I get rid of that. So as you can see, if you're familiar with these things, my controller's gone to sleep, hang on a second. We are playing today Sonic 3 Air, which is an unofficial version of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which I think uses the ROM and adds lots and lots of enhancements like widescreen and all sorts of features. There's loads of extras and options in there. You can do all sorts of cool stuff, and I like it a lot more than the the Sonic Origins from Sega that came out a couple of years ago. I felt that was a little bit lacking. I appreciated some of the stuff they've added to it and tweaks and stuff, but it's not as good as Sonic 3 Air, so I'm going to stick with this one. And it has all of the game's original music intact as well, which is very important to me, because I don't really like the tracks they replaced with it, the prototype ones. I think I prefer. You can't beat the quote unquote Michael Jackson stuff. So let's carry on. Well, let's not carry on. Let's start a new one. I'm going to stick with Sonic and Tails because that's the right thing to do, I think. And let's go. Right. So Supersonic comes in. to show that he's currently holding the Chaos Emeralds. Woof! Knuckles pops out, steals the emeralds, and chuckles. Sonic Adventure will have us believe that Knuckles doesn't chuckle, but as we can see, it's literally the first thing he ever does. Right, so I'm going to ease into this. Sorry if I'm a bit all over the place, but I don't do too many of these streams. I do them for the book club games that we do on the podcast sometimes, but I haven't done them in quite a while because, mainly because my little girl is growing up and going to bed later in the evening, and she doesn't want to hear me chattering away to strangers in the room next door to her. So, but she's out this evening. Her and her mum have gone out. In case you're interested, her and mum have gone out to one of those Christmas light shows, and I can't go to those things because they hurt my eyes. My eyes aren't very good at that sort of thing. So I decided to stay in, and I thought, then this is a perfect time to do that stream that I've been meaning to do. So we are in the first special stage. I'm going to grab all these rings because it does give you a continue, I think, doesn't it, if you get them all. By the way, if anyone's tuned into this expecting, like, based on my guides, like a really expert play of these things, you know, I because I've made the guide, I do somewhere in my head know a lot of the details, but I can't necessarily bring them all to mind because I don't play this game very much these days because I don't have a lot of time and I tend to focus on newer games. But you know, I'll dip into it every now and again. So forgive me if there's obvious things that I'm forgetting, and I'm just sort of relying on my natural abilities of it since childhood, really, because I've been playing these games since I was. There you go, perfect. Since I was a wee lad. There we go. Ooh, achievement. So I really hope everything's going smoothly stream-wise. And if you're catching this later on the video on demand or YouTube, I hope you're enjoying it so far as best you can. Right. So Angel Island Zone. So I mean, when I was a kid, I thought of Angel Island as the floating island because I read Sonic the Comic a lot, and that's what they referred to it in there. Knuckles lives on the floating island. And I figured Angel Island is a zone on Angel Island on the floating island. So is it like a little island that's floating within the island, and there's water around? That would explain why the water that you come to, you sort of cross over at the beginning when you're supersonic. So there's like almost like a little sea within the floating island, and Angel Island sitting on it, but no, it's supposed to be called Angel Island. It always was. It was localized as floating island, and this is just, although the zone's got the same name as the general location it's in, that's what it's called. Some lovely music in the background. Now, as we can see, it's just been set on fire. I've always felt that gives the game a very different feel to like the first levels of like Sonic 1 and 2, which are fairly sort of straightforward. What you see is what you get. You see it and it stays like that. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is so good at sort of evolving the levels as you go through, and every Act 2 is different in every way from Act 1, and I love that. That's probably one of the things that makes it my favourite. Like these levels have so much life and personality to them. So this has been set on fire because Sonic and Tails have turned up, and Robotnik doesn't want him here ruining his plan, so he's just set the whole jungle on fire. You know, Robotnik is in cahoots with Knuckles. He's tricked him. He's tricked him to try and stop Sonic and Tails from turning up and wrecking his plans to relaunch the Death Egg, which has crashed on the island. Pushed it normally floats in the air with the power of the Master Emerald, but the crashing Death Egg has forced it back onto the sea, which is why there is an ocean there which you cross over as Supersonic at the very beginning. I think as a kid I didn't realise it pushed the island onto the sea. I thought it was still floating up there and this whole game takes place on the floating on island and the floating in the sky. But no, I think canonically it's supposed to have pushed it down onto the sea. But yeah, it's always compared to like the first levels of Sonic 1 and 2, like the whole thing getting set on fire, and I was supposed to be looking for special stage rings, wasn't I? Because I'm going to try and get the emeralds on this playthrough. I don't always bother, to be honest, because I can do them. I just can't always be bothered. But I'm going to try and do it this time, so I should probably focus on getting one. In fact, this is probably a good opportunity to flip to the map of Zone 0, if I can bring that up. Just bear with me a second. There we go. And hang on. Why have I got two open? That's weird. Okay. Oh, hang on. Have I closed the wrong one? Sorry. Why can't you see that? Where's it gone? Right. I can see that. Why isn't it? Oh, it's there. Okay, you can there. Sorry about that. Right. Let's just flip over to the map and see if we can find ourselves a special stage ring. Let it load. Okay, so as we can see, Knuckles has a completely different route down here. We're not playing as Knuckles, but if we were, this is where we'd be going down in these caves, and that's really, really cool. But Sonic and Tails' route are up here. We obviously missed that obvious one there for some reason. I think because I normally just skip past it. I just did that without thinking. Right, where are we? We have done... Are we over here somewhere? Let me just flip back to on that tree. Yeah, we're there. Okay. Is there any, oh, there's one down there. That's right. I knew that. Of course I knew that. So you just need to go down there and drop down. Alright, let's do that, because we might as well get these emeralds sorted out while they're fairly easy to obtain. I just need to remember to go back to the game like that. Hang on. Bear with. Right, just give me 1 second. I'm just going to check that we're coming through okay. Okay, looks like we are. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to be sure because I don't want to be waffling on with no one seeing what I'm doing. So, are we ready? Let's go and get that special stage ring. Retrieve ourselves another emerald. Right, here we might be able to... Can we do this thing that I've learned about fairly recently, or I think I have, I might have put it in the guide and I did know about it. But if you... I don't know if there's any badniks in there. If you go in here with a shield in water, there was a little flash then. If there were any badniks in the water, they would have died because the electricity would have killed them in the water, apparently. Well, not apparently, I've seen it. But I didn't know about it. I don't think I knew about it until fairly recently. So it's just a really cool little subtle thing that I'm sure a lot of people did know about, but I'm pretty sure it was fairly new to me. No doubt it would be written in the guide somewhere, and I actually did know about it all along, but I don't think I did. I just want to pick up these rings just in case I make a complete fool of myself and require continues later on. So I like how these special stages are, the colour schemes are in line with the colour schemes of the levels. Like this is like supposed to be in line with the Hydra City level. And also it gives the indication that Flying Battery was supposed to be in Sonic 3 originally, because that colour scheme comes in after the Ice Cat one, doesn't it? Have I gone down here? I do get lost in this one sometimes. There we go. I need to remember to get out of this one. I think these are probably my favourite special stages in the original games. I just find them really fun. If you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, by the way, there are blue spheres and you just need to get them all. But each blue sphere turns into a red sphere when you get it. Hang on, I need to focus. Each blue sphere turns into a red sphere when you get it, and red spheres will send you back to the game without the emerald. So, and there's a technique where if there's a big group of blue spheres, you trap the blue spheres within the red spheres in the middle, and if you do that, they all turn into rings. So it makes it the easiest way of getting them. And you get all the blue spheres, you get an emerald. And you get 7 emeralds, and you get Supersonic. I've never been the biggest fan of playing as Supersonic. I find it a bit boring. Like, it's a little bit too easy, and it gets rid of the nice level music that you've been enjoying, and just replaces it with the invincibility theme. So that's not that good, I don't think. So when I get Supersonic, I probably won't be using him a lot, unless I feel like I need to. Oops. I can normally do this game a little bit better when I'm not trying to talk about it at the same time. So there may be periods where I'll just shut up and try and focus. This is the bubble shield. Boing. I do like the elemental shields that they added for Sonic 3. Used to just be the one. Now you've got a bubble and a fire, like this one, and electricity shield. I never go in the bonus stages because I can't be bothered, but should we pop in? Oh no, that shouldn't have done that. Oh no, so have I still got my fire shield? I do like my fire shield for the old boss. I hate this one. I can never be bothered to do this one. Just gives you rings. I don't need rings. I'm done. I'll go out. Can't be bothered. Hopefully I've still got my fire shield. Yes. See, now normally in the old school version, Tails would be falling behind and constantly getting bombed, but they've improved that in this Sonic 3 Air, and I believe in the Origins version as well. Here comes the Eggman. This is the best regular boss music, isn't it? It's just so exciting. I mean, Sonic 2's one is good, but this is awesome. Especially later bosses, when it does actually pose a bit more of a challenge. There we go, that's zone 1 done. That was alright, I think. Not too bad. Hydrocity. Hydrocity. The debate still rages on. I think it's, you know, pretty accepted that this is the best water level in the series, isn't it, really? It's got great music, looks great, and got loads of different routes, at least Act 1 does, and it's fast. You don't always spend too much time in the water. You can find routes that just sort of skip it out, like I'm planning on doing here. Can I get up there? Why can't I get up there? What's normally up there that allows me to get up there? I swear I can get up there normally, can't I? Oh well. I would look at the map, but oh, that's how we do it. I thought so. Thought I wasn't going mad. Ah. Let's go up here. There we go. Oops, it teaches me. So I didn't have Sonic 3 when I was a kid. Basically, my Mega Drive history is I got my Mega Drive in Christmas 1993. Mega Drive or Genesis if you're in the USA. I got it in Christmas '93. The summer prior to that was when I was introduced to Sonic and video games. I was at my friend's party, and he had a Mega Drive, and he had Sonic 1 playing in the corner, and the kids were all crowded around it. And I just remember being... Ooh, I've been paying attention to my ear. I just remember being just amazed by what I saw. I'd never played a game before. I'd never seen one in action. And just to... I'd probably played a game before, but not like this, not like a proper console game like this. It was just, I loved the character, I loved the environment, I just loved everything about it. I've seen just Green Hill Zone playing. I didn't have much of a go on it, but because I was a bit intimidated. But yeah, I just remember the kids just watching the little animals come out of the badniks and trying to follow them and wondering where they go. I've forgotten to get the special stage rings again. And then someone put the level select in and we jumped to Starlight Zone, and it's just those memories are just in my head forever. You know, they're extremely important to building my interest really in games and Sonic from there. So I had to have a Mega Drive after that. Well, no, I had to have like a Sonic game and a Sega console. And I thought asking for a Mega Drive from my parents at Christmas was a bit ambitious, so I played it safe. I asked for a Master System, which in the UK was still being sold, but they were sort of... I didn't realise at the time. I thought they were sort of being, released together in parallel, and that was the cheaper alternative. And but obviously it was the previous generation, so it was the reason it was so cheap is because they were trying to gradually get rid of them, and it was by '93. It was definitely near the end of its life. So, but I thought I'll ask for a... Oh, I forgot to turn Sonic and Knuckles objects on. I thought I'd ask for a Master System because the Mega Drive seemed a bit ambitious. But no, my dad got my Mega Drive, and he knew I wanted a Sonic game, so he got Sonic Spinball, and I got Aladdin, and a bunch of other stuff. Got Sonic 2 for my birthday in March, and then I got Sonic and Knuckles in Christmas 1994. So I didn't own Sonic 3 until I bought it a lot later. So Hydra City in particular reminds me of going around my friend's house who did have Sonic 3, and I always, for some reason, Hydra City in particular always reminds me of that, just like hanging out in his top attic and playing Sonic 3. That's the reason I brought up the whole story, really. So Hydra City is such a great level, and this music, oh my god, this is one of the best piece of music in the whole series. Just listen to it. Just listen to it. I mean, they're getting a Mega Drive to do this just amazing piece of music. I'm no good at describing music. I can't do it. But it's good, isn't it? It's really good. It's so good. It's so catchy. So like jazzy. I don't know how to describe why it's. I'm not going to get that because I want to hear the music. I don't know how to describe why it's so good. It's just plain good. And like the whole soundtrack in Sonic 3 and Knuckles is just some of the best music ever made, in my opinion. There we go. That's supposed to do. Like this banger after banger after banger, and that's one of the best ones. One of my all-time favourite pieces of music in general, not just from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, not just from a Sonic game, but just from anything. Dee 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 bum 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 bum. Sorry, I might do that from time to time. I hope it's not too distracting and annoying. This one's always an interesting one, isn't it? It's just like sort of broken up into like these rooms. That's how I think I described it in the site. I'll continue. Thank you very much. Shouldn't pose you too many problems. So when I was a kid and playing those Mega Drive games, I wasn't very good at them. I was pretty terrible. I was quite intimidated by them when they got difficult. Like when I was playing Sonic 2, I'd get through Emerald Hill Act 1 and Emerald Hill Act 2, and I could do Chemical Plant Act 1. Quite often, as soon as I got to Chemical Plant Act 2, I just turn it off. I just turn it off and then just do the same thing the next day. Wake up and do the same thing. Because it's just that, the bit. It's the drowny bit. It just intimidated me so much I couldn't do it. If I did get to it, my palms would start getting sweaty. I'd be like trembling because I don't know why. I don't know why I was so scared. It's just hello. This is a cool thing in addition in Sonic 3 Air, much like in Sonic Mania and Sonic Origins. You can control Tail if you're good. You can control Tails and get him to fly you up, which is incredibly useful. What was I talking about? Oh, that was close. Yeah, I wasn't very good at Sonic games growing up, believe it or not. So I used to just tag along as Tails when my friends would play. I could do with a ring. Otherwise this might get very embarrassing. I hate doing this bit. So I get Tails to fly me up. And I would be Tails, and I would follow around. What? I'm not sure what my point was after that. I was going somewhere else, but I've forgotten now. Yes, special stages. So I remember the day that I could suddenly do the special stages, because if you plug Sonic 1 into Sonic and Knuckles, you get just an almost limitless amount of them. And I used to play those a lot and fail at them, and then one day I could suddenly do them, and then I did the first one, I did the second one, and then just did up to the first 5, I think. And I got so excited because I could suddenly do them. There we go. This is a nicer route because I don't like that crushing bit. It's stressful. I mean, I can do it, but it's the little child in me comes out and says, "No, that's stressful. Crushing is stressful. I don't want to do it." Should we go in there? Should we see if it's the other one? No, it's not the other one. No, I can't be bothered. This is the sort of casino-like representation in the game, and I've never been a big fan. I don't like the music in it either. It's one of the few weak music tracks in the game. I always go up here because this is a cheeky little shortcut up here. If you've got a buddy handy, or if you're playing this version, you can just get Tails to fly you up. And I think from there we're going left. But yeah, this act in particular is just, for a water level, it's just so fast and so fun. It's brilliant. I like bouncing really high on this item box as well. This is a Turbo Spiker. That Badnik. I think I can name most of the Badniks off the top of my head. Some of them I might have forgotten, but I think I'm going to challenge myself with that if I can name every Badnik from now on. I'll have a go. See if I can do it. Right, here we go. So, you see, that's the slightly annoying thing about that feature. Now I've lost my water shield, which is no good, which means I can't bubble up and hit him, which is a lot easier. So I'm gonna have to wait for do the traditional, unless we do that. Yeah, we can do that. So otherwise it's doing that. Oh, I can reach with the Insta Shield. I forgot that. That Insta Shield can get in a lot of places in bosses. Makes very short work. Insta Shield, by the way, is a double jump when you don't have a bubble. Stop it. You took all the glory as well. Oh, that's the wrong sprite. Marble Garden Zone. Let's have a little look at the map, because this level is absolutely enormous and complicated. So, hang on, let me get my bearings. So I need to right, get my mouse. First of all, I need to put that on. We're not in Angel Island anymore. We are in Marble Garden Zone. Some of the stuff going on, and we want Act 1 map. As you can see, it's absolutely enormous. One of the biggest zones, I think, in the game, if I remember rightly. And there's loads of special stage rings, so we need to keep an eye out for them. So, excuse me. So we're about to take a tumble down here. The level then loops down from there up to here, very cleverly, in the way Sonic levels do sometimes. And then you end up going down there, which is why the drop feels so long. Usually the main route is to go down there, but there's a completely alternative route up here. If you can jump off this platform in time and get on this thingy, let's go in. And perhaps we'll do that, because I usually take this route more often than not these days, just because it feels unfamiliar, because I think I spent so many times not doing it because I didn't know it was there back in the day. So we'll do that. I think we'll go there, we'll grab that ring. There's a Tails only one up there, which we could get as well, I suppose. I think I can probably get Supersonic in this level alone, to be honest, in this act alone probably. There's another one up there. There's another one over there. And that's the normal route above us, I think, isn't it? Yeah. So we need to zoom out a bit, because it's very complicated at a distance. But so this is the route we're going to go on. It winds round. I think there's another split there. I guess it merges with the other route that goes up there. It's complicated anyway, as you can see. I think there's two completely separate routes throughout the whole level, and then they sort of merge in various ways. And by the way, I love this. I love how massive and complicated the levels in this game are. Like, they are so fun to just explore. You know, Sonic games don't do this anymore. They tend to be more of a linear focused thing. And I get why from a development point of view, but this is just so lovely, isn't it? It's just so lovely to just poke around and find things you never found before. And that's why these levels are so fun to replay, because there's so much in them. And I wish they'd do more of it. Because imagine in 3D, like a proper, you could 3 dimensions, you could make all sorts of routes go everywhere, couldn't you? And weirdly, the only game I think that's done that just a tiny bit, that's really sort of explored the potential of multiple routes in 3D is Sonic 06 of all games. Like there's a few levels in that they just briefly, just in small sections, just have routes going in all sorts of crazy places. And that was you know, I mean, I'm not gonna defend Sonic 06. It's objectively a bad game, I think, but there are little nuggets of, go back to that. That was really good, that bit, you know, about it. And I will say that about it. But anyway, that's another game for another day. Let's go back to our game and see if we can grab us some more Chaos Emeralds. Now this is a huge labyrinth of ancient Echidna artifacts and buildings in the middle of the island, and it's really cool. I don't think it's my favourite level. I don't really rank the levels, I don't think. I don't think it's got the greatest music. It's alright. There's far better ones, and this is what I like to do on these. Right, ready. Normally you just stand there and spin dash them, but if you spin dash them while you're on top of it, whee! I always do that. So that thing is called, I think it's called Bubbles, isn't it? Or it was. Little floating things with spikes coming out of them. So Tails is going up there. Should we go up there? Have I missed one already? I feel like I've missed one. I thought I was supposed to get one down there, wasn't I? Oh, never mind. There's definitely one up there. That's Tails, so let's go and do that. Tails, come. Oh, by the way, yes, that is a spike. Badnik posing as some spikes. Look, if you get close to him, it comes out. Luckily, I've got a shield that's protecting me from his projectiles. And it's funny as you play it, and if you bounce on it, it bounces off. Oh, there it is. It's funny how you know which spikes are real and which ones aren't, just automatically, because you play it so much. Or I do anyway. I think I've got that innate knowledge every time I come on here. This one you've got to do in a big cross. I often do it wrong and just break them off into little bits, but you just got to do it in a big cross on the outside, and you get loads of them in one go. A light blue emerald. This is before they standardise the colours of the emerald, so you get like an orangey one and a pink one and all sorts going on. Whereas now they're very, very standard colours, aren't they? Right. How are we doing for time? 9. I don't know if I don't think I've at this rate. I don't think I've got time to do the whole game this evening, possibly unless I really go for it. But oh yeah, this bit's quite hard, isn't it? You've got 2 crushes in a row there, so you've got to charge up a pretty powerful spin dash at the right time to get past them. Woo! Oh no, what? That was in time, wasn't it? Oh, I've got to start again. That's embarrassing. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go the regular route. Let's just do that. No, I'm going to reject that route and go the regular route, I think. Woo! I'm aware I've probably picked a bad day to do this stream, if you're an American at least. I mean, it's in the middle of the afternoon on a Friday. People might be working anyway, or they might be off and seeing the Sonic 3 movie. Sonic 3 the movie. Isn't there a thing up there in the corner? Oh, hello, what's happened here? Oh, this doesn't normally happen. Oh. What? This has happened to me before. Wow. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was... I'll leave Tails there, he's gone upside down. I've got to use that thing. Have I got to use... Yeah. Have I? I'm lost now. What's going on? This is not going well. Yeah, I'm aware I've possibly picked a bad day because it's the opening day of the Sonic 3 movie today. This is Tails' route, is it? No, it's the regular route, isn't it? Oh my god, this is very embarrassing. I should know this. There we go. Yeah, it's just Tails' route, isn't it? But luckily we have Tails. Go back. So I suspect a lot of Americans won't be tuning into this. They'll either be at work or they'll be watching the movie. So maybe some British people will turn up at some point. Who knows? Or from other countries, of course. If you do turn up and you are an American and you have seen Sonic 3, the movie, please no spoilers. I'm seeing it on Sunday. It doesn't come out in this country until tomorrow anyway for some reason. Even though movies always come out on Fridays. But for some reason, this one does not. Just so the Americans can have it first, I think. That's the way things work, isn't it? Woo! I don't like how in Sonic Origins version of Sonic 3 Knuckles, they've sped those up, those spinny things up that I was just on. I appreciate why, because they're quite slow and cumbersome, but it throws me off. Like, I expect it to be a certain speed, and you've changed it, and now I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I don't like that. I don't think they should have messed with it personally. And there are a few things in there that I just don't think they should have played around with. You know, just and in general, you know, things. You know, if I run in a certain way, sometimes I'll miss something that I normally expect to get just because of like a quirk of the physics and stuff, which doesn't really happen in the Sonic 1, 2 and CD, but for some reason in that version it does happen a bit, and it just always throws me. So plus all the music is really muffled, and for legal reasons they don't have half of Sonic 3 soundtrack. So for those reasons I'm not a big fan of it, and I always prefer Sonic 3 Air, which keeps everything intact and adds loads of other stuff as well. There's actually an older version of Sonic 3 Air, because I've tried the newer version. I couldn't get it to work with my 8BitDo M30 Mega Drive controller, which I'm not even using right now. I'm using my new Xbox controller, but I normally like to use that, and I couldn't for the life of me get the newer version to work with it. So this is a version from 2020, I think. So there might be some new stuff they've added in there that isn't in this, especially since the Sonic Origins version came out. I don't know if they've done stuff in there since then. Whoa. Whoa. That's quite close, actually. Ah. Take that. I've forgotten what he's called. Yeah, I think he appears in the manual as a Badnik, but he's not really, is he? He's a mini-boss. I don't know the names of the bosses, by the way. That's one thing I never really included in Zone Zero, because they're not in the manuals, and they weren't... as far as I was aware at the time, they didn't all really have, you know, established names. I think they were different from different regions. So I never named any of them, so I don't know what that one's called. I still don't know any of them now, to be honest. I haven't really looked them up. So this is always a bit of a surprise. Go in. Ah, it's the boss. so soon. But no, it's just a little moose-bouche, as Jim Carrey's Robotnik would say. I think they're called Mantis. This is a simple name, so I might be wrong. Now here, I believe, you can take a little alternate route if you spin dash very quickly up here, because Knuckles normally goes up there. So I'm going to go on. It's not a route just for Knuckles, but I think if I go up here quickly enough, yeah. See, that normally goes down and you go straight down. But and you can only spin dash that barrier up there, which Knuckles... yeah, that's why Knuckles could normally walk straight through it, because he can walk through barriers, because he just automatically punches them with his moving fist. But you have to spin dash that if you want to go up as Sonic, so I've decided to do that. There's a ring up there, isn't there, which Knuckles can normally get by climbing the wall, but we're going to fly. There we go. Oh. Is there? Or is this something else? Oh, it's an extra life. I think there's a ring as well, isn't there? It's a super secret place. Yeah, it's in here, isn't it? I'm sure there's more to this than that. I think it was... Hang on. I'm going by my memory here, but I think... Oh, someone's joined. Fwifoops Pathiwa. Thank you for joining us. Hello. Twitch refused to verify my main account. I know. To be fair, I had lots of technical issues starting the stream, so don't worry, but welcome aboard. Thank you for joining me. I haven't got that far, as you can see. And I'm a bit stuck now. Oh, right, okay. I'm sure there was a ring in there. A big ring. But I guess not. I could check the map, but I'm in the flow now, aren't I just happened to use Zone Zero tonight and saw your stream announcement. Oh, it was worthwhile I put it up there then. I was wondering if anyone would see that. Yes, good. That's a relief. Fwifo of Spathiwa. Thank you. Sorry. I should just expand, just a minute. Bear with me while I expand my chat window, because it's quite small. There we go, that's better. I can see what you're saying there. Right. So I'm on the hunt for emeralds because I've forgotten where a lot of the special stage rings are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to the website. And I'm going to load up the Act 2 map. See if I can find where I am. Right. So I want to, while I'm here, I want to give a shout out to a user called Mercury, who helped me out a lot with the maps in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. For Sonic 1 and 2, I got the layouts from a tool called SonEd, and I added all the objects in myself, which took a long time, obviously. And I thought the Sonic 3 and Knuckles ones are, at least twice as big. It's going to take absolutely ages to add all these things in. So Mercury made a tool for me that would extract the maps from a ROM and add in all of the objects automatically. So all of this, all of this work has been done by him, and I just went in and added all these arrows and stuff and pointed out the routes and made some of the things clearer that you couldn't see otherwise on the map. So while I'm here, I just want to give a big shout out to Mercury. Really, I know it was a long time ago, but yeah, thanks, man. That was so helpful in getting these maps out. Otherwise, it would have taken me a very, very long time, and I probably would have given up. So I need to figure out where I am. Where am I? I'm in a corridor somewhere. That's not actually that helpful. This is quite a big level. What have I done and what haven't I done? This is actually quite hard to see at this zoom level, but then if I go out it's all too small. I should have downloaded these and loaded them up in another image thing. There's one in there. Let's just look for the rings and see if I'm anywhere near them. I think there's not as many in Act 1, but there are some. That's the end, isn't it? As you know what, we'll just get we'll just see how we do. I'll see if my memory will kick in. Where's my mouse gone? Right, let's flip back to here again. Oh, your site has always been awesome. Was so good all those years. Oh, thank you very much, mate. That's really kind of you to say. Once made house rules for renters, printed and stuck them on the fridge, and stole your site's blue level gimmick backgrounds for these printouts years ago. Oh, well, I'm glad someone put them to good use. That's fine. That's fine. Blue level gimmick back. So the like the background stuff. Yeah, I was pretty pleased with that idea. It works quite well, I think. Right. In my favourite thing, flying. Oh no. Oh, right, there we go. Yeah, it's definitely one in here, isn't there? This is like the go-to one. There you go. That I remember anyway. I've got 4 of them so far. Might as well grab them while they are relatively easy to find. This is the flying battery one, isn't it? Like the because I was saying earlier, all the colour schemes of all the special stages are in line with the levels, colour schemes of the levels. So this is supposed to be the flying battery one, because of course flying battery is supposed to be in Sonic 3, but then they took it out because of space and stuff and time. So it would have gone in between Carnival Night and Ice Cap, but it was not to be. I'm sure there's a version, maybe Sonic 3 Complete or something, but puts it back in there or something. I don't know. There we go. Yep, true. Right then. Oh, don't get caught by that. That's an easy thing to do. Jump off. I always, because I think if you hit that, it takes you straight into that bubbles, I think, and you fall off, but you don't get hurt. But if I always jump off anyway, but I always just hit him anyway, and then I actually do get hurt, so it's kind of counterproductive. I think there's something up there, isn't there? Or am I thinking of somewhere else? There's no arrow, so maybe there isn't. I can't be bothered. This is Sonic 3 Air, and this is they've added a widescreen to it, much like Sonic Origins does. So I was saying I prefer the Air to the Sonic Origins version. Not huge fan of all the changes they've made, and the music and quality of the music in general, so I always go for Air, because it just sort of plays out how I expect it to. Yeah, you should get it. It's really good. It's the best. It's the definitive way to play Sonic 3, I think. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Right, so there's some more bubbles. Hard question. If you get to keep one, Sonic 3 Air or Sonic Mania Plus, that is a very hard question. See, Sonic Mania still feels new and exciting to me. Like there's still, because I haven't done a guide of it, there's still loads of stuff and secrets in there that I find, whenever I play it, and it's got the benefit of being released more recently, so that it can do certain things a little bit better. But I don't know. I don't think I could get rid of Sonic 3. It's just perfect, isn't it? Really, it's my favourite game of all time. There's so little wrong with it. I've got so much nostalgia for it. Like the levels are amazing. The story and the way it plays out is perfect. Like it's my favourite story of any game, really. I just like the setting and everything, just the way things are paced. So I think it's always going to be my favourite of the two, I think. So I'd have to probably say Sonic 3 Air over Sonic Mania Plus, but I do love Sonic Mania Plus. And luckily I don't have to get rid of one of them, I can keep them both, so that's fortunate. What about yourself? Oh, whoop. You should concentrate on this bit. Right. I do really like this boss. I think it's really clever and really sort of exciting. So Eggman leaves you behind into crumbling ruins, but Tails is there with you, and it's just really cool. Except I have to remember that to get off of Tails in this version, I have to press down and jump, because you can control his flight normally, and that's just the standard thing to do. So I need to remember how to do that, which always throws me every time I play this version, which is the slightly annoying thing about that feature. There is something satisfying in jumping off of him, bouncing off, and then jumping back into his arms. I do enjoy that. Probably the same. It's the rehashing that pulls Mania down most for me. Yeah, I do agree with that. Let me just beat this boss and I'll read the rest of your comment. See, that's the annoying thing about this. You get hit, you're probably not going to get any rings. Let's see if I can... hang on, one more. Hang on. Even if the rehashes are technically often big improvements. Yeah, I do agree. I was really disappointed about the balance between old levels versus new levels when I first played it. Like, I was really hoping for more than 4 original levels. I think what they did with the old levels is brilliant. I love the ideas and everything. It's just very inventive, creative game, and it breathed new life into them. But those new levels are fantastic. I'm not that big on Titanic Monarch. I could take or leave that one, but the other 3 are fantastic. So I would just love to have seen more of those. So it's a shame we only got 4 of them, and it's a shame that they haven't done a sequel. Because I would love, they have the if they made a Sonic Mania 2 and it was all original levels, and they were all as good as those, then you could easily have the best Sonic game ever made on your hands there. You really could. If you paired it with like a really, an exciting story and great music and everything else, yeah, you really could have something special there. But I don't know why that hasn't been a thing. It seems like an obvious thing to have made in the time since Sonic Mania's come out, but I don't know why. I'm not going to blame Sega necessarily. I think it might be the Sonic Mania team want to do something fresh, hence Penny's big breakaway. But it's a shame that hasn't happened yet. But maybe it will. Who knows? Mania's GHZ is really a great zone. Others are a bit hit and missy, but yeah, I agree. MSZ and SZ honestly up there in top classic levels of all time. MSZ Mirage Saloon and Studiopolis, sorry. Yes. To think for a minute there. Yes, sorry. Yeah, they're fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. Right, let's talk about Carnival Night Zone. Another huge zone. Quite an intimidating one, I suppose. These always kind of trick me. Like, I think you can usually shoot out of them at any time, but sometimes, or maybe it's just the last one. Yeah, when you get to the end of the level and you've got that one at the end, you can't shoot out of it by yourself. It shoots out automatically. That's what I always think of those, and then when I get to a regular one, I think, when can I shoot out of this? But usually they're fine. I'm waffling now. So I never normally. That's another nice effect to the air adds, by the way. I never normally get speed ups because I like just the music, the way the pace of the music plays normally without speeding it up. It kind of annoys me. Whoop. Be careful here. Did not have the barrel problem there. No, I did not have the barrel problem either because my friend explained it to me when we were playing it at the time. I think I said earlier I didn't have Sonic 3 growing up. My friend did, and I would go around his house and play. And when I first came to the barrel, he was there and he explained it to me, so I never had that problem. Which I think I say on the site. I can see why people do, though. Like, it's not particularly obvious. And because of the way the game works, like, it never explains anything. There's never a tutorial for anything. Partly because that's just the way games were back in those days. There's a ring here, I think, isn't it? That's one of the few things that could do with an explanation. I can see that, but yeah, I was lucky I had it explained to me at the time. I remember I was once around my friend's house when I was a kid, and we were playing this special stage. Not this one, but a special stage like this. And my friend's dad was in the background. He said, "What is that sound? It sounds like a dog barking all the time. Listen." It kind of does, doesn't it? Arr, 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 arr. So that's a small anecdote, but it comes to mind. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, that one. In Australia, they literally had to make an advertisement explaining how to pass the baton. Oh, really? I did not know that. Oh, I did not know that. Cool. Oh, that's a stupid thing to do, isn't it? I've come the wrong way. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the prototype music for these levels, Carnival Night, Ice Cap, and Launch Base. They're okay, but it just doesn't seem right without the originals there. I can't get on with it. Like it's got to be these sort of slightly weird, in terms of Carnival Night and Launch Base, these sort of slightly wacky pieces of music that aren't particularly in keeping with the most of the rest of the game, but they just sound right, you know. And it gives it a whole atmosphere as well. Like this music is quite sort of creepy in a way, and it gives the whole level a creepy atmosphere. Whereas the prototype one is too sort of bouncy and happy, and it makes it feel completely different. And I think this theme park should feel quite threatening, because you're on level 4 now of 6 in Sonic 3, and you know this should feel like a slightly scary place. Sonic 3 level special stages are the least exciting for me of all the classics, I think, just because I've done them a million times. Yeah, that's true. I do know them way better than the other special stages, so I can sort of breeze through them. On the website, Overclock Remix, Ice Cap is the... Yeah, it is. I remember those. I remember getting a lot of Ice Cap remixes. It's so weird how this zone is here, because... I mean, it's obviously an Eggman creation, but it's weird that he's had time to just build this a whole funfair and just put it in, because I don't know how much time passes from him landing on Angel Island and getting set up and everything, but it can't be that much to just build this whole thing. I figure he must have had it imported in. He built it already and just had it brought in. And why, I don't know. And what Knuckles thinks about this place, I don't know. Those questions have always sort of baffled me. Please hit it. Like, why is this place here? It's weird, isn't it? I feel like it needs a sort of Ian Flynn explanation as to what this place is even doing on this island. I'm going to try and focus on this now. This boss does throw me quite often. Like it's really hard to predict what's going to happen. Like it's one of the few that does stump me from time to time. And other times you can just do it really easily without even trying. And other times, like this, I'm actually starting to lose quite a bit of the floor. Oh, there, I got it. I think it's only 4 hits, that one, isn't it? Thankfully. Maybe Zones took it over. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Knuckles' private single-use theme park. Yeah. Now, if you're really quick, you can jump up to a big shortcut up there, just as you come out of there. But I did not. Because this is a very long act. It's not uncommon to get quite close to the end, close to the 10-minute timer on this act, because there's just so much going on in it. Oops. It's Knuckles' route over there, I think. He's got a much shorter act, if I remember rightly. And no boss as well, it just sort of ends, doesn't it? I like this boss. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is where the IP got the bosses right, to Mania didn't really nail that. Yes, yeah. I like some of the bosses in Mania, but they can be a little inconsistent, I suppose. It's quite difficult to do a good Sonic boss. Oh, there you go. Right, I'm getting pretty close now, aren't I? Is this the 7th one? Must be, because I'm on launch space and I've done that wrong. Yeah, it's the 7th one, isn't it? This one I do often fail at, so I'm going to give it a good go. It's alright to begin with, but it's when it gets faster it's when it becomes a bit trickier. Oh, no, whip. So if you leave those hanging around as reds, then that creates a bit of a problem for yourself, I find. Yeah. Speaking of special stages, I got to mention Mania again, though. Oh my god. Good or bad? For me, Mania special stages just blow the rest of the IP out of the water. Love them. Yeah, they are pretty fun, aren't they? I do like them. I don't know. I think they were good fun. I think if I had to keep one special stage, it would probably still be the Sonic 3 and Knuckles ones. Even though I know them really well, I just quite enjoy them. I think they're good fun. But yeah, Mania did a good job with the special stages. Definitely. Oh, I've been here already. I went on a little detour. That's right, I did, didn't I? Go up here. Now, there is a bit near here where it has 2 extra lives together, which I think is the only time it happens in the whole of these original games. They're quite well hidden, if I can remember where they are. It's pretty cool. Here's on the map. I'll see if I can find it on the map, actually. Let's take a little detour. Give myself a little break. Where's my mouse gone? Bear with me. So I've got 2 screens here, and sometimes the mouse goes for a little wander. Right. Oh, hang on. I gotta flip to 0. Get rid of that. Go back to Carnival Nights. Oh. And we'll get to map. This may have been a mistake because this is another absolutely enormous level. I think one of the things I wanted to do with the maps, because the only other maps that were available at the time when I started doing these maps didn't really have much in them. They just had the layout and they didn't have the objects and stuff. So I thought we could do better than this. We can add all this stuff that's part of the level, you know, all these objects, and add some things to point out where all the routes go as well, because it's not always clear, and I wanted to do that because I thought it would be pretty cool. It might take me a while to find this, and it's only vaguely interesting, but I thought I'd give it. There it is. I can't go any further, but it is. I've lost it again. Okay. I definitely saw it then. Where did I see it? Oh, that's annoying. I literally saw it then. It's maybe I've got to go down a bit. Yeah, it's quite deep, isn't it? Quite deep level. There. By point number 6 is where I talk about it. So normally you go along here and you get sucked up straight there. If you do a really, really powerful spin dash there, you come across, you get invincibility and 2 extra lives right there. I can't think of any other place before or since, really, even in any other Sonic game, where you get 2 extra lives at once. Probably in some of the 3D ones, but in the old 2D ones. Do you ever sit there and spam the Sonic 1 and K special stages? Not anymore, I don't. Should do one day. I did at one point. I did play them a lot, and then you get to far enough into it, and you realise how it works. Like it just puts chunks of pre-made stages together, and you say, oh, I've done this bit before in that other level, oh, I've done this bit before in that other level. And obviously that's how it works, because no one sat down and made 18 billion individual special stages. But yeah, once I got to that point, I sort of stopped spamming them. But I did go fairly far, I think. Yeah. Right. I don't know where that was, but we'll see if we can run into it. You normally find it on the route I'm on. I think I'll know it when I see it. Up, down, up, down. Let's have a fire shield. Why not? Oh, thanks. Didn't mean to do that. What happened in that special stage? Did I didn't get the emerald, did I? I can't actually remember how that ended. I must have run into a red. Did I? Oh, here we go. Yes, fairly easy. You've got to if you do a double jump. Can you do a double jump? Maybe it doesn't work with. Oh no. Oh, if you jump and hold up, he starts flying, and then you grab onto him, and at that point you can control where he goes, which is cool. And then to jump off, you need to hold down and jump, which is very handy. And I think Sonic Mania and maybe Origins does something similar now. In the options, it enabled to do it in Sonic Mania style, like the Tails control in Sonic Mania style. So I'm assuming it's done exactly the same way as in Mania. Which I can't confirm in my head off the top of my head right now, but I'm sure that's true. Which is always very handy, to be honest. You were getting attacked by puppies at the time. That's absolutely understandable. I don't think I got it. I think I must have hit a red, but I wasn't paying attention. But that's okay. I'm sure we'll find another one soon. I was wondering how long this would take me, like, to get through the whole game. I think it's been it's over an hour now so far, isn't it? Something like that. Over an hour and a half, probably. Because I remember when I was like a teenager, my grandma came round, and she had to look after a little boy for the day, her friend's little boy. She didn't know what to do with him, so she thought she'd bring him round my house, so I'd find something to do with him. So I thought, I don't know what to do with this kid. So I said, do you like Sonic? And he said, yeah. So we proceeded to sit down, and I played the whole of Sonic 3 and Knuckles in one go, without emeralds, to be fair. Oh, it was there. I missed it. Could have got this. That was it. That was a 2-life bit. I played all of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and I think it took me 2 hours without the emeralds. So I was kind of using that as a benchmark, but I thought, obviously, I'm going to be talking and not concentrating and trying to get the emeralds. But it's looking like 2 hours for Sonic 3 portion at the moment, so I might have to split this stream in two and do Sonic and Knuckles another time. Which is fine by me, because I'm actually quite enjoying this. I didn't think I'd be any good at streaming and playing and talking, but I'm having a good time here, actually. 2 hours without emeralds means you have to push. Yeah. There we go, is the infamous bit where you have to know up and down. Up and down, but when you do, it's dead easy. Yeah, I'm getting quite close to the 10-minute time limit now, aren't I? Relatively. Still got quite a bit to do, I think. Well, I'm kind of getting towards the end. But I think in Air, I didn't do this, but I think in Air you can disable the time limit, so you can presumably just carry on after 10 minutes. Or you can get one up here, can't you? Oh, Be careful. Oh, I've got it. I must have got it. Oh, okay. In that case, how do we do it? There we go. I didn't even realise. Wow. I thought it might show the little icon because I had to press the Y button then to do it, and I thought it might, like Mania does. I thought it might show the little icon, but it did not. Supersonic is fun, but I do find them a little bit boring. Like, it's too easy. And also the music, like it's that music all the time, and it just kind of interrupts the normal level music. So I don't often use him, even if I do get all the emeralds. But I tell you what, it does make short work of this boss. And this is the great thing about Sonic bosses. If you're good, you can just batter the hell out of them. And it is very fun. Like, that was something they really didn't get in Superstars. And I understand why they made those bosses the way they did, just to sort of extend the life of that game a bit. But it makes you not want to replay the levels just because you know you've got a really tedious boss at the end, that you've got to wait certain bits before you can hit him, and you can't just do that and spam him. And they're quite annoyingly tough as well. So it was a bit of a shame about that game. That and the incredibly inconsistent music. Yeah, kind of dug an early grave for that game a little bit, but it had some good elements. I enjoyed parts of Superstars. I thought it was alright. You know, I was just happy to play original levels again instead of playing Green Hill, Chemical Plant, and Sky Sanctuary over and over again. So that was a plus as far as I was concerned. Right, Ice Cap. Fantastic music. I think we can all agree. Just some of the best. Like Brad Buxey got something awesome going on here, doesn't he? Can't stand Superstars. 100. The music. Preach. Best music. Yes. Sorry, I read all your things in one go. Yeah, I mean, they overcharged that game so much. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it was more expensive than Frontiers. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. And putting it against Mario Wonder was not a good idea, was it? I know they didn't. That wasn't really their fault, I suppose, but I would have changed the release date of that. But anyway, let's talk about Ice Cap. Ice Cap's such a lovely level. This is actually the last of the original 4 games. This is the last level that I saw and played. As I said, I didn't have Sonic 3, so I knew about Ice Cap because it's in the manual. So I asked my friend to make a save file where he got to Sonic 3 and then lend me the game so I could play when he got to Ice Cap, so I could play the level for the first time. And that bit at the beginning where it loops endlessly until you jump on the platform, for some reason I didn't get that you had to jump on the platform, so I just I spent like 10 minutes falling down that thing, and I thought, when's this going to end? Eventually I got that you had to jump on the platform, which is obvious really, but because I didn't get the looping thing of levels. I see how it works now, but as a kid I thought there must be an end to this, surely. Like, is this part of the experience, going down this shaft for 10 minutes, really? But yeah, it's such a sort of magical looking level, isn't it? It's so nice. The music's amazing. Love it. One of my favourite levels, Ice Cap. Knuckles can climb to the top of the snowboarding mountain only due to an ability he only has in Sonic 3 Knuckles. Really? I did not know that. Sorry, I just need a quick drink. Penguinatus, I love a Penguinator. Probably one of my favourite badniks. It's just so we can see one in a minute. I thought there might be one there. Oh, I've lost my... That's really handy shield, that is, for this bit. I was being silly. Because maybe I've passed the difficult bit. But... I'm being clever. There's a Penguinator. I knew he was there. He's very cute, isn't he? Look at him. Look at him. His little flappy wings. Take that. That's Knuckles' route, isn't it? So, let's see if we can do this. Right. You can spin dash on any slope, so no matter how steep after a glide, but the same thing doesn't work in Sonic 2 and K or Mania or anything. Getting well blast. Oh right, yeah, cool. Right. Do you have to? Is this the one we have to? No, I can. No, I can do it. There's one where you have to kind of. If you don't have a shield, you have to use a spring to, and then jump, don't you? I think I passed that one already. I think this Sonic 3 version of the Act 1 boss music, I've set it in the options. So for the Sonic 3 levels, I think it plays this music. For the Sonic and Knuckles ones, it plays the music in that game. Because I always think almost playing Sonic 3 separately and Sonic and Knuckles separately just feels like the right way to do it. Obviously, playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles all one thing is the most convenient way, but I just feel like everything that happens in those games separately is kind of canon to me, and everything that is slightly different in the connected version isn't, which doesn't really make sense. I think the connected version is supposed to be the full thing, but for me, I like that Tails is only in the Sonic 3 and then he isn't in Sonic and Knuckles. Like, I mean, that means canonically he basically dies in launch base and then doesn't come back, but so that bit's a bit awkward, but I don't know, just everything else is, I feel like I just like that way around. I don't know why. So this act is quite short, but it does have like lots of routes sort of stacked up on top of each other, doesn't it? And I like to sort of go on a little explore and find the higher up ones. So can we go over here? There's a spring over here, so I like to have a little wander around up here. Oh, there's nothing up there. If I go this way, does it? Oh yeah, should have known that. Maybe let's just stick with the regular route. But there are more routes up there, definitely. Yeah, it should be a longer act. You know, lovely music, it's lovely scenery. It's got the outdoor bit in the daytime. And this sort of under cave bit is not as good as the upper routes. So I don't see more of that. I forgot to mention the coolest thing about the electricity shield is it gets rid of these icicles and these badniks. It's a great thing. I think this is the only bit down here in Sonic 3 with a death drop, isn't it? Down there. Everything else, like all the other levels, are sort of fully contained, aren't they? You can't die at the bottom of it. Sonic and Knuckles has them, but that bit is the only bit in the whole Sonic 3 where you can fall to your death, which is not something that the later 3D games took on. Oh, you can do it. You can do it in Angel Island boss, can't you? Act 1, Act 2 even. You can fall down there. That's true. But in the levels, I don't think there's any other place. I'm sure that's what I noted in the guide. I usually love having a magnet shield here, but I'm going to have to go with that. Getting the pattern right is always a tricky one. It goes like, and it does two. Can you help me, Tails? Help me! I'll just go for it. Oh, help me! Jump! Right. I hate doing this without that shield. Just try and spam it. Get me out of here. There we go. That's easier now. One of the few bosses that changes its state but makes itself easier than harder, which is more logical really when you're beating up a big machine, isn't it? Right, here we are. We've reached the Death Egg crash site in a lake. So that's so that badnik. Whenever you go in here, one of them appears. There's a thing there where you can just keep getting extra lives by spin dashing this, isn't it? And they just sort of keep appearing, and you just keep getting more and more points. Yeah, a little trick there. They're called Flybot 767s, I think, aren't they? Like a really weird specific name. Let's go to Orbinaut, which you can be beaten with an insta shield. And that's, I think it's a Rybot. Yeah, a lot of water in Sonic 3. That's the. It doesn't have many death drops, but it makes up for it with an insane amount of water. Really, I think there's. Is it Marble Garden that's the only level that doesn't have any water in it? Let me go. Let me go. Stop it. There are downsides to being able to sort of hitch a ride on Tails that easily. He does get in the way a lot. It's such a sort of different sounding music, this, isn't it? I mean, it must have been. I mean, what do I do? Obviously, Michael Jackson had a team working on this. I don't know how much he did himself. I suspect not that much. I think it was mostly his team by the sound of it. But whoever did this, I reckon it's the same guy who did Carnival Night, because they sound like they come from the same person, don't they? Yes, then zero water in Sonic 3 Knuckles. Yes, it's the opposite of the death drops, isn't it? Interesting. Do you know if Sonic Air lets you choose between the Sonic 3 version and Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Yes, it does. It does. I think I set it to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Because there's a big. That's worth noting. Actually, there is a big difference between the two. Because this is where it gets interesting, because Launch Base is the final level of Sonic 3, so it's got to be quite difficult, but it's only the middle level in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, so they made a lot of tweaks to the object placement to make it a little bit fairer. So I always think that's interesting about Launch Base and Mushroom Hill. They've got to be both sort of respective end and beginning of their games, but they've also got to be in the middle of a bigger game. So it's it's sort of interesting compromises are to be made there, I think. Never liked jumping through these things as a kid. I mean, it's easy enough to do, but I always thought like I'd jump on the spikes or something. This is another quite big act, isn't it? Lots of different sort of routes and stuff. I think some Tails only routes, if I remember rightly. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. Is this the Sonic 3 layout? I think it might be. I think there isn't an Orbinaut there normally in the Sonic 3. Or there's the... I can't remember. There's one bit I'll know the difference when I see it, but I can't remember where that is. I think on my map I do note the differences, don't I? Pretty sure. remember before Sonic Knuckles was released, I had played with some of those locked out Knuckles paths in Sonic 3, but I wasn't ready for Knuckles' proper launch space. Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole different beast, isn't it? Knuckles' launch space. It's like it's quite tough, isn't it? If I remember rightly, he's got some tough levels. Perhaps one day I'll do another stream as the whole game as Knuckles. There he is. Speaking of. If you think about it, it's very against Knuckles' character to sort of do these little subtle things, like just chucking a bomb or like pressing a button. You know, he'd be having it out with Sonic right away, wouldn't he? Really, like the Knuckles we know of now. He doesn't really waste time. He just gets on with it and starts punching things. So, I mean, the character had only just been introduced at this point, and it wouldn't have been practical to have him fight you all the time, I suppose. Although could have done, but it is nice to save that to later in the game, isn't it? So as a sort of gloves off sort of moment. Thank you. I think we will have to finish this act, and then I think I'll what time is it now? Do I have time to carry on doing Sonic and Knuckles? I don't think I do. I think I'd rather end it at Sonic 3, and then I'll come back and do another stream some other time over Christmas, hopefully, and do Sonic and Knuckles, I think. Because this one's turned out a bit longer than I expected. Just hearing in my headphones the music, I don't know how clearly it's coming out for you, but I set the option in the options menu to do like an enhanced soundtrack, which I don't know how it does it, but just hearing it in my headphones just sounds really, really good. Like, I'd recommend doing that. Just like has a bit more clarity to it. Why aren't I getting that other one should have reappeared, shouldn't it? Surely. Interesting. Music's very faint on the stream, can barely hear. Oh, sorry about that. Let me I just wanted to make sure you could hear my voice over it, but I can turn it up a little bit if you like. Where is my mouse? Any better for you? Like, those voice clips are coming in really, really crisp and clear for me. So this is the Sonic 3 version, isn't it? Those Eggmen aren't normally there in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I don't think. Oh well, never mind. I don't know if this is confirmed, but I feel like that's Sandopus in the background there. All those sort of statues and pyramid-looking things. Like, in my head, these two zones are next to each other. And the only reason you don't go to it next is because the Death Egg launches and then drops you off somewhere different. Otherwise you'd be going there, I suppose. I think that's pretty cool, if that's true. It does look like it couldn't really be anything else, because those are sort of Egyptian-y temples and things, aren't they? I think so. That's true, yeah. Yeah, I was really disappointed with the lack of Knuckles-only paths. Like, I thought there'd be a lot more. I know he does have a whole act to himself in Mirage Saloon, which is really cool, but I would have liked a lot more sort of character-exclusive routes and things. I'm surprised he didn't put those in. It seems like a an obvious thing to me, doesn't it? There's a shortcut or something up there, I think, wasn't there? Never mind. Ah. There's two different deserts, that's true. Well, I mean, it's got Desert Palace, which is the 2-player one. I was kind of assumed that was part of Sandolphilus, but I suppose it could have two different deserts. But you know, a desert's generally quite a large area, so it is weird how a small island can have like a desert bit of it. That's just video game logic, isn't it? But like, it must be big enough to have a whole area that's for some reason a desert. But I mean, it's just the way games work, isn't it? You've got a desert next to a lush forest or a lake or whatever. Why not? I don't have any rings for this, do I? That was foolish of me. I can't remember if because you can set in an option to fight the big arms boss. I can't remember if I got that set or not. I hope I have, because I do enjoy that boss. Let's see how we get on. This is such an easy boss. I didn't kill Tails. That's nice. Nice touch. I do like this bit, like Knuckles is just standing there thinking he's boss, and then the Death Egg launches and he just... And it's just quite a dramatic way of showcasing that the Death Egg is now taking flights, and it's getting a bit serious. Even though that was quite comedic. Oh, my cousin and I would work that, repeatedly jumping in and out of Tails' hands, still able to... Yeah, I could never manage that personally. It was always like quite a useless sort of thing, wasn't it? Right, so the only thing you've got to be careful about here is the spinning orb thing. Sometimes I do get carried away and just keep bashing, and then eventually the orb comes and gets me, so I've got to watch out for that. Oh, nice one, Tails. Let's see, is it going to go big arms? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it looks like it. Awesome. I think this is such a cool boss. And incredible music. Like the best boss music I think there's ever been. So good. Oh. And it's quite tricky to get that jump right as well, isn't it? Like, really precise. Like the most precise jumping you've got to do in a Sonic game, I think, this boss. Down you get. What's he doing up there? Got to get the timing right on this. It's a really good boss. Really good. Just a little jump there. Oh, just incredible music. Just the way it builds up here. This amazing bit that I just wish lasted a bit longer, like goes for a second loop. This bit that should do really. Ah, well done, Tails. And if you mess up, you then don't get any more opportunities in that point, do you? He sort of carries on with the next bit. There you go. Dispatched. Definitely weird in 1994 to kill this boss, and that was the end of the game. Yeah, It's just such a dramatic bit, like the way the sky darkens and everything. It's just awesome. Then you see the death egg falling in the background in a second. And then we go back to the island, and it lands itself on a volcano. And we end up in the Mushroom Hills then. So, yeah, I think I better stop there for now, but I will definitely carry on with this on another stream, and I will, let's pause it there. I will have to get the word out about that as well. S3 in case, huge run of final bosses, more than made up for it. Yeah, I agree. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. That means so much to me that you came along. I'm glad I caught you there when you just happened to be on the site. That's awesome. But yeah, thank you so much. I genuinely wasn't sure if anyone would turn up. It's quite difficult to get the word out about it. Good job on site. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's it's something I'm still really proud of. And I know I haven't been doing anything on it in years and years. But I just sort of been moving on to other projects and stuff. But it still will have a place in my heart, and I'll always keep it up online as well as long as I can. I don't want to take it down. Yeah, so thank you once again. The stuff I'm doing these days, I don't. I've mentioned at the beginning, but I guess you probably didn't hear it. I do a podcast with my friend Tibbs, and we called Pod'em Up. If you go to podemup.live, you'll find all our episodes. So we take a game. We take turns to pick a game each month, like a retro or an indie or anything like that. And we go and play it in like a book club format, and we talk about it on the show. And we got other stuff as well, like news and what we're playing and things like that. A lot of Sonic chats does sneak in there as well, so that's naturally, because it's me and I'm all about Sonic. But yeah, lots of other games too. So you might enjoy listening to that if you've enjoyed listening to me chatting away here today. So I will. I did Nights. Yes, that was. I just put that out a couple of days ago. So we do really in depth on that actually, compared to some of our other book club segments. So yeah, do have a listen. It's I think it's a really good episode. And yeah, we've been doing it a while now. That's episode 65. So there's plenty to catch up on there if you're interested. So that's one of the stuff. Well, probably the only public project I'm on at the moment. I've got some other stuff that's just for me really. But yes, so again, thank you so much for joining me. I will. I'm on. You can find me on socials. I'm on Twitter. I am Virtua Ollie 64. You can also find the Pod'em Up podcast at Pod'em Up on there, and we're a Pod'em Up on Blue Sky as well. PODEMUP. So if you want to stay in touch and keep track of what we're doing, what the new episodes were coming out, and I will let you know when I do the next stream as well, which hopefully should be sometime over the Christmas holidays. Sometimes it's difficult to do it in the evenings here because I've got my little girl going to sleep next door, so she doesn't want to hear me chatting away in the background. But they're out at the moment, so that's why I'm doing it now. So hopefully I'll find a time sometime soon to do it. Carry on with Sonic and Knuckles. I've really enjoyed this. I've had a great time. Thanks for the chats. Probably can't catch the next stream live if it's these hours, since this is actually 4 a.m. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, it's probably very late. 4 a.m. I'll do it earlier then. I'll do it in the afternoon or something probably. That's probably more likely anyway, to be honest. Yes, but yeah, I'll do it earlier anyway because it's as I said, it's difficult to do it in the evenings usually. So I'll find another time. But I will. I'll put it on the website as well, like I did this time. And yeah, if you and anyone else who happens to be tuning in and not saying anything, and then catching this on later on YouTube or whatever, I'll let you know. So yeah, thank you once again, everyone who's watching, for joining me. Yeah, had a great time, actually. Really good, lovely. It's such a great game to play. Really good time. So I will see you next time, and thank you very much. I will close it there. Goodbye. Have a great one.